Good evening, I'm Susan Ormiston, and this is The National. Justin Trudeau sharpens his message to asylum seekers.
You must follow the rules, and there are many.
But the opposition says it's his fault so many are coming in the first place. An Ontario judge is made to answer for the hat he wore in court.
The fact that it was Donald Trump hit a particular nerve, I think, with Canadians.
Plus, West Coast salmon fishers fear the worst as Atlantic salmon from fish farms invade their waters.
You know, the same way that I would respond to a chemicals company that was dumping toxic waste into the Fraser River.
When illegal border crossings into Quebec turned torrential last month, it put the RCMP on overtime, created a logjam for the border service, and saddled Montreal officials with a housing crunch. Unexpected but solvable issues, we heard. But when the Prime Minister takes time to visit the scene, as he did today in the dog days of August, and then takes to the podium to reassure Canadians, it suggests that those border headaches threaten to become a full-blown political problem. The CBC's Katie Simpson has the details.
The Prime Minister is ramping up his efforts to personally convince Canadians the situation at the border is under control. Justin Trudeau received a briefing on illegal crossings from his special task force on immigration today and met with Haitian community leaders to dispel myths about migrating to Canada.
There is no advantage to irregular migration over regular migration.
Trudeau's message is part of a broader government campaign to deter illegal border crossing. He's also sending Haitian-born Liberal MP Emmanuel Dubourg to Miami tomorrow to speak with the large Haitian community there. While Trudeau says the law is being enforced, he's being accused of holding some personal responsibility for the current immigration predicament.
Our system now is in shambles, and I think a lot of this has to do with the messaging.
Michelle Rempel says Trudeau encouraged an influx of illegal border crossings in part because of his mixed messaging. She blames this tweet from January when Trudeau stated, "To those fleeing persecution, terror, and war, Canadians will welcome you, regardless of your faith. Diversity is our strength. Hashtag welcome to Canada." A tweet published in response to Donald Trump's proposed refugee ban.
Man, was that ever irresponsible.
And maybe he wanted to play the cool guy on the world stage, but it was partly a false message to send, because not all the asylum seekers will be, in fact, at the end, accepted.
The Quebec border is the latest flashpoint for a surge in irregular crossings. A tent city processing center has been set up as more than 6,000 asylum seekers have crossed here since July. Most are Haitian, fleeing the U.S. as the Trump administration is expected to lift special protections for people who fled after the 2010 earthquake. Canada eliminated those special protections earlier this year.
They're on the horns of a dilemma.
Immigration lawyer Lorne Waldman says if Ottawa deports these asylum seekers, it could lead to even more political backlash at home.
If they don't enforce the law, they may encourage others to do the same thing. But if they enforce the law, they may run afoul of the political support that the Haitian community has in Quebec.
Over the weekend, the Quebec border saw a drop in the number of illegal crossers. But government officials say it is too early to suggest the surge is slowing down, so they'll continue to push a message of deterrence. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Ottawa.
And we'll dig a little deeper into the politics of irregular migration a little later. Althea Raj and Shachi Kurl will be here. That conversation in about 25 minutes. The Prime Minister also responded to another cross-border issue, the renegotiation of the NAFTA agreement. During a political rally last night, Donald Trump waded into the negotiations with an offhand threat.
I don't think we can make a deal. So I think we'll end up probably terminating NAFTA at some point. Okay, probably.
Today, Justin Trudeau said Canada would continue to emphasize the benefits of NAFTA.
We're going to stay focused on the hard work we have ahead of us at the negotiating table, and that's how we've approached this from the very beginning, and I don't see anything changing in that.
Trump has threatened to terminate NAFTA before, but not since negotiations began last week. When Donald Trump reads from a teleprompter, the message is often calibrated, base-pleasing without any bomb throwing. But last night, Trump went off script and political bombshells were still exploding today, with fresh signs that his relationship with the rest of Washington has deteriorated further. Here's Lindsay Duncombe.
It's hard to know which Donald Trump will show up these days. The one who sticks to the teleprompter, like he did speaking to veterans today.
I got the white supremacists, the neo-Nazi, I got them all in there.
Or this president who railed against the media in Phoenix, defending his response to racial tensions with 20 minutes of freelanced rambling. And then there was this.
Believe me, if we have to close down our government, we're building that wall.
That's a threat. Congress needs to pass spending measures and raise the country's borrowing limit, known as the debt ceiling, in the coming weeks, and they'll need Trump's signature. So he could keep the government from paying the bills, even its creditors, if he doesn't get his wall.
But to threaten government shutdown a month before, to even toy with it, I think is dangerous for the confidence of the markets.
It's all complicated by Trump's deteriorating relationship with the Republican-controlled Congress. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is reportedly uncertain Trump will be able to salvage his administration. And pretty much every day, someone else is questioning the president's competence.
I really question his ability to, his fitness to be in this office. And I also am beginning to wonder about his motivation for it. Maybe he is looking for a way out.
All this as Hillary Clinton is revealing how she feels about the president in excerpts of an upcoming book, specifically about this moment when Trump lurked behind her in an October debate. This is Clinton's voice from the audiobook.
My skin crawled. Do you turn, look him in the eye, and say loudly and clearly, "Back up, you creep. Get away from me."
So since Trump's rally last night, he has been called a creep, his threats deemed dangerous, his competence questioned again. The strangest part about all this is that it's beginning to seem normal. Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Washington.
Those protests in Charlottesville 11 days ago originally focused on a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Now, that city and that name are in the news again for a curious reason, courtesy of cable sports giant ESPN. The network will broadcast the University of Virginia's first home game from Charlottesville, and their announcer was supposed to have been this guy, Asian American Robert Lee. But ESPN has reassigned him, worried about the coincidence in name and city. Reaction on social media has been swift and caustic, summed up by this sports writer's tweet. And in another twist on Trump, an Ontario judge who wore his apparent support for the president into his courtroom had a hearing today that will decide his future on the bench. The CBC's Ron Charles was there.
Ontario Judge Bernd Zabel had had an unblemished 27-year career on the bench. Never an accusation of impropriety, bias, or unfairness. That is, until the morning after this, last November's U.S. election. That's when Zabel walked into his packed Hamilton courtroom wearing one of these Donald Trump Make America Great Again campaign hats. Some people in the courtroom laughed. Zabel told them, just in celebration of a historic night in the United States, unprecedented. Later that day, back in court, Zabel said the hat pissed off the rest of the judges because they all voted for Hillary, so I was the only Trump supporter up there. Even after Zabel made a courtroom apology a week later, complaints poured into the Ontario Judicial Council, 81 in all. The council's presenting lawyer has an idea why so many.
The fact that it was Donald Trump hit a particular nerve, I think, with Canadians.
Testifying at today's Judicial Council hearing, Zabel acknowledged his hat and words constitute judicial misconduct. He apologized again for what he calls a misguided attempt at humor to lighten the mood in his courtroom. He stated that he does not support Donald Trump nor his policies, and that he was merely gloating about being the only judge to predict Trump's victory.
He appreciates how his actions could have been misconstrued, so he's gained insight into that perspective, his conduct, and will never do it again.
The Judicial Council now has to pick from a range of punishments, from a warning to removal from the bench. The co-founder of Democracy Watch says the choice is key.
I don't think they will dismiss him from court, but will penalize him for bringing politics into the courtroom in a way that raises the question of appearance of bias.
Zabel's lawyers presented 63 letters of support for his character. One judge who testified today in his defense says she now regrets that when she saw Zabel wearing the hat that fateful morning before court, she didn't just rip it off his head. Ron Charles, CBC News, Toronto.
Newfoundland and Labrador MP Judy Foote is leaving federal politics. CBC News has learned that Foote will resign from cabinet tomorrow. She was named Minister of Public Services in 2015, but has been on leave from cabinet since the spring for personal reasons. Foote will also announce that she plans to give up her seat in the House of Commons later this year. Coming up,
William and I know that. We've been told that numerous times.
what the princes find so hard to accept 20 years after their mother's death. Plus, a Russian court silences an artist who criticized the Putin regime.
This is a signal. You better be careful or else.
A terror warning from Spanish police triggered a huge security operation in the Netherlands tonight. The tip led to the cancellation of a rock concert in the Dutch city of Rotterdam by an American band called Alla Laz. The concert venue, a former grain silo, was evacuated and the area cordoned off. A short time later, this van with Spanish license plates was found with gas tanks inside. The bomb squad was called in and the Spanish driver taken into custody, but police say the incident is not directly linked to last week's vehicle attacks in Spain. The Canadian man accused of helping Russian agents hack Yahoo user accounts has pleaded not guilty in a California court. Karim Baratov was extradited to the United States yesterday. The 22-year-old was arrested in Ancaster, Ontario in March. Baratov is accused of hacking 80 accounts, and if convicted, he could face at least 20 years in prison. People across southern Quebec are assessing damages after a powerful storm ripped through the province. One of the hardest hit areas is the town of Lachute, where a tornado touched down. Ainsley McClellan is there.
In a matter of 30 seconds, the tornado churned a narrow path through this Lachute neighborhood, picking up sheds, gazebos, and even whole roofs. Alain Marino felt his house shake, but it wasn't until he stepped outside that he realized what had happened. It's hard, he says. We just bought the house and now we have to renovate everything. Lorraine Girard took cover inside with her two small grandchildren as the tornado ripped through her backyard.
As I was scared for my grandson. I was thinking that we are going away with them.
The winds here were so strong that they picked up a neighbor's roof from down the block and dropped it right here in the backyard. In fact, they were so strong that they managed to drive a flying nail through solid plastic. In all, about 150 properties were damaged and 10 are uninhabitable. At the Lachute airport, the tornado lifted up a small plane and sent it crashing into the hangar. Despite that force, there were no reported injuries. Environment Canada clocked winds of 180 kilometers an hour, an F1 tornado. Not the strongest tornadoes can get, but relatively strong for Quebec.
Every summer in Quebec, on average, 5 to 6 tornadoes that can happen. Most of them are weak tornadoes, okay, F0, F1. That's about our bread and butter, if you want.
In Montreal, strong linear winds, sometimes called a microburst, toppled trees onto cars and houses.
And I thought it was hailstones hitting the pavement, but I realized like an hour and a half later, oh, that was the sound of the trees starting to crack. And then I was hearing bangs and crashes and a window break and kind of ran on the spot for a little while, not knowing what to do.
Workers have been trying to clear blocked streets and restore power to several thousand people. In Lachute, most believe insurance will cover the damage, and overall they're just thankful no one was hurt. But even after the debris is cleared, people here say they won't forget this force of nature anytime soon.
I never see that on my life, never. And I hope that I will never see that again. It's terrible.
Ainsley McClellan, CBC News, Lachute, Quebec.
Police in Alberta say they've busted a black market gun-making operation.
These prohibited firearms in the wrong hands are a significant public safety concern for us.
Investigators seized high-powered machine guns allegedly manufactured at a shop near Edmonton. It's believed other homemade weapons may already be on the criminal market. 2 people have been arrested and charged with a total of 62 offenses. Teachers in Ontario say the name of Canada's first Prime Minister should be removed from schools across the province. The Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario has passed a motion calling for the renaming of any school called Sir John A. Macdonald because of what it calls his central role as the architect of genocide against Indigenous people.
I think this is a good lesson for the students to see their school being proactive and making these choices to be inclusive for all of the people who live in Canada, especially Indigenous people, where we're often left out of the story.
If successful, this school in Pickering could be among the first to be renamed, but nothing will happen until local trustees meet next month. Some out-of-towners found a new home in the Pacific waters off BC. Thousands of Atlantic salmon were accidentally released from a fish farm, and it's raising fears about what impact the species could have on fishing and the environment. Renee Filipponi has that.
The once symmetrical steel fish pens now float crushed off the coast of Washington state. The nets broke loose Saturday. The next day, the entire structure failed.
The experience on the water from our farm crews found that they were seeing conditions that they had never seen before.
The company initially blamed high tides and currents coinciding with the eclipse, but scientists say conditions were no worse than they had been earlier in the month.
All farmed fish, no wilds.
For the past number of days, fishermen in the area have been pulling the non-native Atlantic salmon from Pacific waters.
3 of them are Atlantic salmon that escaped.
It's unclear how many escaped. The pens kept more than 300,000 fish. The Cook Aquaculture Farm is off Cypress Island in northwest Washington, not far from Canadian waters. That has fishermen here concerned.
You're introducing a non-native invasive species into an environment where you don't know what the potential outcome might be.
And that's part of the problem. A lack of research means authorities don't understand the overall impact on the environment.
They will spawn, and they have produced and have done in the past in multiple events, and the progeny they produce are competitively viable, meaning that they can compete successfully, and in some cases superior, to our native salmon.
News of this latest escape added fuel to a previously planned protest against fish farming today.
Not only the salmon, it's the herring, the codfish, everything, that's around them is going to be affected by this pollution.
The BC industry is calling the U.S. breach a structural failure, saying that escapes here are rare.
And over the last 10 years, investments, engineering, and innovation have made escapes very rare. Over the last 3 years, we've had less than 50 individual fish escape from farms in British Columbia.
The U.S. farm is now working to recover as many fish as possible before removing the now destroyed pens, while the state of Washington considers penalties for the escape. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, Vancouver.
Back to Ontario now, where the alarm is being raised about a new epidemic of West Nile infections. As Christine Birac reports, there's evidence the mosquito-borne virus is about to make a dramatic and dangerous comeback.
Did you guys happen to bring any bug spray with you?
No. Really? Is it that bad?
Yes. Researchers say fears over West Nile virus are back. Experts are now predicting an outbreak in Ontario, including Toronto. People down at the Canadian National Exhibition also weren't happy to hear it's peak biting season.
All right, so we'll have to watch out today, but didn't know about that.
I'm confident that if people don't do anything, we're going to end up with over 300 cases.
A newly released study out of Brock University is raising the alarm based on statistical models. They've been tracking human case numbers since the first outbreak in 2002, climate data, and the number of infected mosquitoes showing up in weekly collection pools. Based on the evidence, researchers are expecting more than 330 West Nile cases in Ontario by the end of this year. In 2016, there were only 104 cases in all of Canada.
I would love it if the model were proved wrong and people did take care of themselves and avoid bites, and then they don't get sick.
Most people infected with West Nile virus do not have symptoms. Some develop a mild flu with fever, headache, and vomiting, but roughly 1 out of every 150 people bit by an infected mosquito will develop a serious, sometimes fatal illness. Health officials in Toronto say people should heed the outbreak warnings.
We also currently don't have any human cases that have been reported to Toronto Public Health. However, that can change, so it is important for people to take precautions when they spend time outdoors.
Researchers say the next 2 weeks will be peak infection times. There is no vaccine or treatment for West Nile virus. Experts recommend using an insect repellent with DEET, wearing long sleeves and pants, and limiting the amount of time you spend outdoors at dusk and dawn to prevent being bitten in the first place. Christine Burak, CBC News, Toronto.
Straight ahead, Prince William on the death of his mother and how his profound grief turned into resolve.
9 royal babies have been born here at St. Mary's Hospital, so Londoners knew where to come when news came this morning that the princess was in the early stages of labor.
It is a boy.
Henry Charles Albert David, or just Harry for short. That's what Prince Charles and Diana decided to name their new son.
Granny was christened in this. Great Granny.
At times they appear quite natural, jumping up to peer through lookout lenses, tossing coins into the falls. But British reporters say Diana is carefully grooming her sons for royal duties. They know the royal routine for accepting gifts, admire it for a few seconds, then pass it to an attendant.
On Diana's coffin, draped with the royal standard, there were 3 wreaths. One, from her younger son Harry, said simply, "Mummy."
Prince Harry began his first day at Eton College. Prince Charles and his youngest son were greeted by royal watchers as they arrived to register. Harry joins his older brother, Prince William, at the exclusive boarding school.
Today, Harry, Prince of the Realm and offspring of Charles, heir to the throne, came home from Eton, his boarding school, to ride out the storm. Ironically, just down the road is the pub where he reportedly drank to excess at the age of 16 last summer. He also smoked marijuana with friends at Highgrove, the Prince of Wales' residence. Staff smelled the telltale smoke.
Hello, love. Prince Charles carefully controls all media access to his 2 sons, and these pictures, released on Prince Harry's 18th birthday, are no exception. He turned down the offer of an 18th royal birthday bash, saying, "I don't actually like being the center of attention."
He wants to be considered just another soldier. He's not. Prince Harry, the wild child, is now being seen by his nation in a whole new way. A hard-working soldier.
Their candor is remarkable and their pain still palpable. Next Thursday marks 20 years since Princess Diana's tragic death in a car crash in France. Today, excerpts from interviews with her 2 sons were released from an upcoming BBC documentary. Princes William and Harry spoke about the days that followed the crash, their anger over what happened, and how they coped through her funeral procession.
I think one of the hardest things to come to terms with is the fact that the people that chased her into the tunnel were the same people that were taking photographs of her while she was still dying on the back seat of the car. And William and I know that. We've been told that numerous times by people that know that was the case. She'd had quite a severe head injury, but she was very much still alive on the back seat. And those people that caused the accident, instead of helping, were taking photographs of her dying on the back seat. And then those photographs made their way back to news desks.
When you have something so traumatic as the death of your mother when you're 15,
as very sadly many people have experienced, and no one wants to experience, it leaves you, it'll either make or break you. And I wouldn't let it break me. I wanted it to make me. I wanted her to be proud of the person I would become. I didn't want her worried, or her legacy to be that, William or Harry were completely and utterly devastated by it, and that all the hard work and all the love and all the energy that she put into us when we were younger would go to waste.
So sad. The crash also claimed the lives of Diana's companion, Dodi Fayed, and the driver of their vehicle, Henri Paul. Diana's bodyguard, Trevor Rees-Jones, was the only survivor. Kirill Serebrennikov is a leading light of Russia's arts community, a film director who wins accolades at Cannes and a theater director who pushes boundaries. But today, he faces allegations he defrauded the government, a sign for some that in Vladimir Putin's Russia, no amount of acclaim can shield an artist when he strays from the script. Chris Brown has the story from Moscow.
In Russia, they put people on trial in a cage when they show up in court. And that's where Kirill Serebrennikov was today, accused of fraud. Hundreds of his supporters in the arts community spilled out into Moscow's streets, calling the charges a sham.
He's one of the biggest, greatest directors in Russia, in the world.
The situation we have today, it's dreadful.
Serebrennikov's Gogol Theater is one of Russia's leading experimental arts venues. Hugely popular, he tackles issues most producers won't touch, such as homosexuality, as well as challenging Vladimir Putin's government.
He is punishing because of his political position, because of his oppositional views, because of his what he was doing in his theater.
Russian police allege he used over $1 million in grant money improperly. But in court, Serebrennikov said the charges were absurd and unbelievable, and the money was used for performances just as it was intended. In the end, certainly not the vindication people here were hoping for. The decision by the judge, house arrest. The large crowd outside chanted shame when the news broke.
There's no way for a theatre director to work when he's at home. So they will paralyze his theatre productions, they will paralyze his thoughts, they will paralyze his talent.
Political editor and supporter Maria Lippman says Serebrennikov's arrest is meant to intimidate opponents heading into next year's presidential election.
This is a signal to people of art who pursue their independent artwork. You better be careful.
For at least the next 2 months, Serebrennikov will now have his communication with the outside world drastically cut back. He'll have to wear an ankle bracelet and has no access to the internet. Chris Brown, CBC News, Moscow.
Now, stay tuned for more on a top story, the thousands of asylum seekers who have snuck into Canada.
Here we are at the 11th hour, heading into winter with tent cities at our border when the Prime Minister is finally coming out.
Open arms and strong borders. Can Justin Trudeau have it both ways? Plus,
I couldn't really stand by and do nothing.
He harnessed his business savvy for desperate Syrian families. Now let's check the day's business numbers. The TSX gained 78 points. The dollar decreased slightly. In New York, the Dow lost 87 points and the price of oil increased 58 cents a barrel.
A new disease with some old familiar symptoms has struck teenage girls around the world. The disease is called Duranitis, and the symptoms are screaming, swooning, and tears of ecstasy. It strikes whenever the British rock band Duran Duran appears. This week, thousands of Calgary teenagers fell victim when Duran Duran opened its North American tour in that city. Marion Coomey reports.
Simon, Andy, Nick,
John and Roger are Duran Duran, a popular British rock group. They've been dubbed the Fab Five, but such comparisons to the Beatles aren't because the music is similar, it's because of the girls. Since there's been music aimed at young people, there have been screaming fans. They swooned over Frank Sinatra in the 40s. In the 60s, fans created a new word, Beatlemania, for their love of John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Today, they're called Duranis.
They're very, very dedicated to us. And they hang around in hotels, waiting for us to come down and follow us when we go out shopping, things like that.
And we certainly have a lot of young fans, and I wouldn't swap them for anything in the world.
What's wrong with 14-year-old girls?
15-year-old Laurie Evans and 17-year-old Julia Kim are dedicated Duran Duran fans. They've read all the articles ever written on their idols. Laurie's room is full of posters, pictures, buttons, all the records, even Duran Duran's shoes.
I used to think that people who had posters and listened to and bought all the albums were a little bit spinny and not quite in touch with reality and were groupies. But then when Duran Duran came along, it didn't seem like that. I'm not quite sure why, actually. Because I'm supposed to be the stable type, like not go crazy over Duran Duran or, you know.
And so do you think it makes you seem unstable because you really like a rock group?
Yeah, they're seeing the other side of me.
More than 8,000 Duran Duran fans, most of them under 18, went to the Olympic Saddle Dome to hear what the band calls their music without a message. They willingly lined up to buy $25 sweatshirts and other souvenirs, and then pushed their way into $15 seats to await their heroes.
Ladies and gentlemen of Canada, this gathering tonight is the beginning of our North American tour.
Do you get tired of being associated with, their 5 great-looking guys?
I get a bit, I think sometimes, I've got a little bit more to offer than just that.
Some rock critics say that to become a long-term success, Duran Duran will have to change its image as a teeny bopper group. But for now, they remain young, good-looking, clean-cut, well-dressed, musically adept, full of catchy, danceable tunes, the stuff teen fantasies are made of.
This is possibly the best concert in history of civilization as we know it, okay? It was awesome. It was unbelievable. And Simon LeBon is so gorgeous, it isn't even funny.
We only want to admit those into our country who will support our country and love deeply our people.
When the U.S. president talked about shutting the door on refugees back in January, Canada's Prime Minister touted this country's openness. But the dramatic spike in illegal border crossings here and the political headache they've created may be more than Justin Trudeau bargained for. To desperate people, his January tweet might have looked like an invitation. Intended or not, the consequences are easy to see. At first, Manitoba was the illegal entry point of choice, large numbers of mostly Somali asylum seekers. Then the focus shifted to Quebec as thousands of mostly Haitians arrived. So far this month, things are only heating up. Now, Liberal cabinet ministers are out in force with a tweaked tone and a tougher message. And today, so was the Prime Minister.
I can understand the concerns that Canadians have about whether this is a shortcut, whether this is somehow uncontrolled immigration.
Justin Trudeau went on to insist that border hopping is not uncontrolled immigration and laws will be followed. Well, joining me from Ottawa to talk about all of this is Althea Raj, Huffington Post's Ottawa bureau chief, and Shachi Kurl, the executive director of the Angus Reid Institute. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Althea. I'm going to start with you. How worried is the Canadian government that maybe Canadians are lining up against it on this illegal boarding issue?
Well, I think you can see by the sheer fact that the Prime Minister went out to this intergovernmental task force and addressed the media and the Haitian community that he does feel that this is something he needs to be preoccupied with. The government is mobilizing a lot of its resources across departments to try to solve this issue. And I think the concern is not necessarily with this group of Haitians who have a particular reason why they're trying to come to Canada right now, but that more people might see this as the entry point to Canada and a shortcut to get their case heard.
So, Shachi, what are we seeing in terms of the numbers of Canadians who are feeling uncomfortable with the illegal part of this?
No, that concern and that fear is really palpable, Susan. If this goes pear-shaped for the Trudeau government, it's not necessarily going to be because the Prime Minister said one thing and a cabinet minister said something else. It will be because there is a perception that too many people have arrived too quickly, that they were perceived to have been invited to come on in by Justin Trudeau, and not just because of the shortcut factor or the queue jumping factor, but because of security. The real anxiety here, the real concern comes down to a growing unease among Canadians, particularly in Quebec, by the way, that with genuine asylum seekers who are crossing the border, who may not get a fair hearing under the Trump administration, there are people who could be criminals, who could be simply economic refugees, people who are coming in for the opportunity of it all, or the people that Donald Trump himself likes to call bad hombres. And it's in a way that bad hombre factor that is driving a certain calcifying and hardening of opinion on this issue, notwithstanding the fact that Canadians do generally want to help people in need around the world. They're also now calling increasingly for more resources to go into shoring up gaps in the border and unsecure parts of the border.
So, Althea, he earned some political capital when he set himself at the opposite of Donald Trump back in January. But a lot has happened since, and we've seen a lot of border crossing since. Has he lost, and how much has he lost in this issue?
Well, it's a fine balance that he's trying to do, right? Like, he wants to appeal to people, especially on the left, and say, you know, we are the opposite of Donald Trump. I am this sort of liberal beacon. Come to Canada. We will welcome you. That image of him at the Toronto airport welcoming refugees from Syria, for example, that's the image the Trudeau government wants. But they also don't want to be seen as being lax on border controls. And we saw today, for example, the Conservative immigration critic, Michelle Rempel, basically attack Trudeau and say, this is all your fault. If you hadn't tweeted hashtag welcome to Canada, none of this would have happened. And we saw
Do you believe
him,
that? Is that fair?
Well, I think his response today saying, you know, this irregular crossing is not a way to circumvent the process, when actually it is, was his way of trying to put those words back into his mouth. Unfortunately, what he said is factually incorrect, and I'm not sure that it's going to have the impact that he's hoping that it will.
So, Shachi, he did say today, look, we can navigate both, open and welcoming, and follow the rules. You know, you likely won't be successful in many circumstances. Can he successfully market both those messages?
Well, as Althea pointed out, he's talking, when he says that, on one hand to his own base, and then on the other hand to softer voters who are concerned about security and trying to reassure them. The problem is he runs the risk of those messages getting muddled. And so instead of transitioning a message and saying, we're not unaware of some of the problems with process here and we are paying attention to that, as he says that, he keeps doubling down and sort of winking and nodding to the base that he needs to keep on side, saying, well, but hey, Canada is still a welcoming country and diversity is our strength. This is a very mixed message. And what that opens up and creates is room for critics to come in and say, are you really concerned about our refugee policy, about our asylum seekers policy? Is it too generous? And what that can do is create a perception that perhaps the policy is too generous, even if it isn't, simply because of the circumstances and the situation that's been turbocharged by the crafting of that tweet. You know, remember that when Justin Trudeau staked out some political high ground 2 years ago during the Syrian refugee crisis, there were oceans separating most of those refugee seekers or asylum seekers, if you will, from Canada physically. That's been erased by the fact that he's speaking more to people now who are in the United States and wanting to try their luck here. And, you know, all of this happens against the backdrop of a looming election in Quebec next year. Quebecers very concerned about this. The provincial opposition parties in Quebec pouncing on this issue. He's got to be concerned not just about keeping the left of center on side, but ensuring that he's not losing voters in very influential and politically powerful provinces like Quebec on this particular issue, or scuttling the chances of his provincial counterparts, such as Premier Philippe Couillard.
So, Althea, just briefly, because we're running short of time here, did he do enough today to challenge his critics who already think he's soft on migration issues and border control?
No, I don't think so, but he benefits from the traditional Liberal position of basically being in the middle. If the Liberals pay heed to what the NDP is calling for, which is a suspension of the Safe Third Country Agreement, it would allow would-be asylum seekers to use official border points and basically flood through the borders if those people are there. So that's not something that would be beneficial, I don't think. And on the other hand, the Conservatives are in this very interesting position where if they go back to the language that they used when they were in government, attacking asylum seekers and the health care that they were receiving, now in this sort of Trump prism, that might take on a whole sort of racist undertone that they do not want to play with. So the Liberals, I think, actually have a bit more flexibility in their positioning on this, and it does seem like they are trying to basically throw as much resources at solving this problem as they can.
All right, I have a hunch we'll be talking about this again. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Susan.
Althea and Shachi joined us from Ottawa. Now, stay tuned for something special. One man made it his mission to help Syrian families. He did far more than his share.
The pre-dawn mist still lingered in the hollows when the crowd on the hill nestled into place for a good view. There were bleary eyes and lots of cameras. A few hours before, at 3:11 a.m. to be precise, Canadian Julie Payette and the 6 other astronauts made that short, exhilarating walk toward the launch site. The clock ticked closer to launch time. The Wheaton kids from Iqaluit and a few new Canadian friends unfurled the new flag of Nunavut. Across the water on the launch pad, Julie Payette blew a kiss goodbye from the door of the shuttle and was then strapped into her seat for liftoff. The Canadian children, winners of a Canadian Space Agency contest, clustered together.
3, 2, 1. And liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery on the first mission to dock with the orbiting International Space Station.
Look at it! Wow! For 8-year-old Jessica McGrath Flemington of Winnipeg, this was all the career inspiration she needed.
I think that's cool, and I would like to do that one day.
11-year-old Sarah Wheaton was in awe.
It felt good, and I was happy for Julie, and that she's brave enough to actually go up in space.
They dream of space travel, but these high school students won't get off the ground. Their spaceship is made of wood.
0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Their command center, a couple of computer screens and walkie-talkies.
Permission to execute.
What is real is their respect for Julie Payette, who was once a student like them.
It's a message of like a dream come true.
That's what motivated these kids to sleep at Laval's Cosmodome. No one wanted to miss the big moment. Julie is the first Quebec woman in space, he says. It's a great moment for us. And then, all across the province, kids held their breath as Discovery reached for the stars.
And liftoff.
And at that moment, Julie Payette became not just an astronaut, but a local hero.
And the vehicle has cleared the tower.
It took a lot of courage to get where she is, this student says.
I know she speaks like 5 different languages. She's like an athlete, a musician, and she's an astronaut, so I kind of admire her.
So it seems does the whole province. Payette gets star treatment in the media. And what's a hero without her own matching set of t-shirts, hats, pens, and even tattoos? A lot of hype, but no one is complaining. Especially not at Payette's old high school, where her picture hangs in the hallway.
I think that she's a great model for us, and that she just show us that we can do something good in life.
You're gonna crash!
The Space Club simulated flight ended in disaster. But for teacher Joanne Patry, Julie Payette's mission is already a success. It got more students excited about science.
The hoopla that we've been having for Julie Payette, it will encourage some kids at least to go in that direction.
I organized it like a business. So I have director of jobs, director of housing, director of transportation, director of mentorship. Every family comes in, gets an Arabic-speaking mentor family, English-speaking mentor families.
Jim Estill is a man who gets things done. Nearly 2 years ago, he decided to take the skills that made him a success in business and use them for the greater good. It was an extraordinary act of generosity that began with a simple question. If you're going to sponsor one family of Syrian refugees, how hard could it be to do it for 50? Well, you're about to find out. Here's another look at one man's crusade to do the right thing.
We're going into one of the places we store furniture for the refugees.
Jim Estill, a CEO and successful entrepreneur, took what he learned in business and put it to work for humanity.
So you collected some stuff?
So this is all donated. Most of it's donated. We bought some of it, but most of it's donated.
For how long have you been collecting?
Well, we started collecting a year ago.
Wow.
When
Holy smokes.
When the Syrian refugee crisis seized Canada, Estill shot up his hand.
Some of it's set up like these are dish sets set up for a family of 4. So if you have a family of 6, you get 2 boxes of dish sets. And we have the same thing with pots and pan sets.
He stepped up in a way almost no one matched.
And some things we needed new, like mattresses. We have a lot of mattresses in our other warehouse.
Estill committed to help settle 50 Syrian families, putting up his own money, over $1 million. Then he organized an army of 800 volunteers in Guelph, Ontario.
I couldn't really stand by and do nothing. And I also didn't think it was that big a thing, because you just do the population of Guelph, 120,000, bring in 50 families, 250, 300 people. It's so absorbable, it's not even a big deal. And my other problem is I always tend to think big, so.
1 year ago, Estill was moved by the images of Syrians lining up in a dusty Jordanian parking lot, waiting for a chance to get to Canada. Canada ramped up staff at a processing center hastily set up in Amman, and overall spent hundreds of millions of dollars to fast-track resettlement for 25,000 refugees. In December, that first wave arrived. A proud moment for Canada and a political marker for the new Liberal government.
You're very welcome.
Then, thousands of Canadians were stepping up, inspired themselves to privately sponsor some of those refugee families and bring in even more.
Hey, Matt.
Jim, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
But for Jim Estill and other groups who met the call, many of their refugee families only trickled in. After months and months of waiting, some sponsor groups grew frustrated and disappointed. left at the tail end of the Syrian surge.
Government had this big push to bring in 25,000. They staffed it all up for that, brought in the 25,000, ticked the box, and then pulled everybody out. And then that's when it went very quiet.
1 year on, you stood up, put your hand up and said, I'll take 50. How many have you got?
We actually only got 20, now we just got another 15 or whatever. So the frustration is we made some mistakes. Like we actually paid rent on housing, which we shouldn't have until we saw the people. We paid for storage costs and moving costs. As a business guy, I wish they would run it more efficiently and faster.
Estill is currently CEO of Danby Appliances, but formerly he founded his own multi-million-dollar business. He's a creator, whether in business or philanthropy, and the refugee project was just an extension.
And then I organized it like a business. So I have a director of jobs, director of housing, director of transportation, director of mentorship. Every family comes in, gets an Arabic-speaking mentor family, English-speaking mentor families.
Part of his plan was some of the refugees got a chance to work at Danby for a trial 90 days. Mohammed and Karab, cousins, are learning English on the job and remanufacturing appliances. Back home in Syria, they were tailors. Fadal, a father of two, was from Homs, and when the bombing there intensified, he fled with his family to Lebanon and then to Canada. Abdul sold real estate in Damascus and then cars. A born entrepreneur, he hopes to run a dollar store in Guelph, partly with Estill's backing.
So what we're trying to do is help people become productive members of society. So I will be disappointed, I will have failed if we bring people in that they live off of my charity for a year and then go on Ontario Works or welfare. That's not a success for me, and it's not a success for Canada.
Lunchroom learning is part of the project. HR Director Melody Esfahani, herself an immigrant, helps run a program called Ease into Canada. Volunteers coach the workers and offer ESL training at lunch.
بحكي معهم بس أنا حابة أتعلم إنجليزي مع
Fida, he has been to the English school before actually participating in this program here, and he didn't learn much, but he says that he prefers this program here, like Ease into Canada, because he is learning new things every day.
Abdul's a born salesman, a pretty typical single guy. What is your dream?
I'm not sure, like materialistic a bit. I like to have a Dodge Charger. If you are asking me what I would like to have.
Do you think it was the right decision to come to Canada?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like I feel like I got really lucky, because usually they prefer to have families rather than single men. But the lady at the embassy, she was really nice. God bless her, and she said okay.
But there has been a downside to Estill's effort, as he describes. After his story went global from Arabic news sites to European ones, circulating through places where refugees still wait desperately, now they're begging him for help.
A Syrian family displaced in Turkey seeking for hope. Dear Mr. Jim Estill, we are thankful for you and all your hard work for humanity. My family and I are in Turkey, and we are trying hard to find a safe place. Therefore, I need your help to make it possible to save my life, to reunite the two families. That's pressure. And I got 1,000 of these. Almost, like, I got hundreds and hundreds.
So what do you say to them?
Said, unfortunately, we're not sponsoring more families at this time. I kept your information. Let's keep in touch, and I wish you all the best. That's really all I can say. I can't say anything.
The Syrian surge that Canada stirred up will not repeat itself. Next year, not as many will come and not as fast. In 2017, the total number of refugees will shrink by more than a third, and that's from all countries, not only Syria.
Of course, I'm not thrilled, because I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think we should be welcoming refugees. These people need us. This is a humanitarian crisis.
You know people who don't agree with you, who say, not only have we done our part, we've brought enough in, it's time to look at other priorities.
Of course. And of course, there's some xenophobia that happens all the time. And this is one of the reasons I started the project is you hear people, don't bring in terrorists, don't whatever. But we're helping the people that are fearing the people that we fear.
Jim Estill's New Year's resolution is to empty this warehouse and to finally welcome all of the people he said he'd help. So have you worked out, you've got 24 families to come?
Yes.
And most of this stuff will be gone or not?
Most of it will be, yes.
In the end, Jim Estill sponsored 58 Syrian families. They have all now arrived in Canada. He's mostly emptied out that warehouse and helped 3 Syrians set up their own small businesses, including a sock shop and a pizza place. And Abdu, whom you saw in our piece, is indeed running a dollar store. And there are 10 refugees working at the Danby plant. Job well done. Just ahead, can space travel be chic? A certain billionaire thinks the answer to that is yes.
I'm Matt Galloway. Tomorrow on the summer edition of The Current, we continue with highlights from our cross-country series of public forums on missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. That's on the summer edition of The Current, weekdays at 8:30 on CBC Radio 1.
It was middle-class Canada on wheels, a convoy of buses carrying hundreds of homeowners protesting against Canada's soaring interest rates. Most of the protesters face crushing mortgages of more than 20%. Some face losing their homes altogether. All of them are angry.
I'm angry and I'm helpless.
I just feel helpless. I mean, what are we going to do?
I'm just sick and tired of this kind of a government.
Vince and Linda White are typical. This month, their mortgage payments go from $650 to more than $1,000.
I think there's something has to be done about it. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, too many people are losing their homes.
As the so-called convoy of anger rolled on towards Ottawa, federal Liberal MPs were meeting in special caucus. Like the protesters, their message was the federal government must do something for homeowners. When the buses arrived on Parliament Hill, they were met by opposition politicians, but there was no one there from the Trudeau government. The demonstrators went ahead and told their stories anyway.
I'm sick of an economic policy that tells me that after 5 years of blood and sweat and tears that I can't have my home anymore. I want to know why. Why can't I have my home?
Later, a small group was allowed to meet Housing Minister Paul Cosgrove.
All we are getting from you people are shrugs. Well, tighten your belts, but we've done it as tight as we can do it.
We're the people you're working for. We put you in office, and believe me, we can take you out.
We don't want promises. We want people who are out of their homes now, to have action now. Not after the budget, not after promises, but now.
False prophets.
I don't know what the particular response will be, but I'll tell you that the government will meet its commitment in the speech from the throne when we started out as a Liberal government last year that we will not stand by and see large-scale foreclosure of people's homes in this country.
As the Liberal caucus broke up, MPs emerged smiling. They'd been told help was coming for homeowners. And Cosgrove announced that he'll ask Canadian banks and trust companies to stop foreclosing on Canadians, at least until after next month's budget.
I know that the companies have said that they'll look to all devices that they can to assist people to maintain home ownership.
Prime Minister Trudeau left the caucus meeting apparently confident that he'd cooled out his angry backbenchers. The angry homeowners will have to await the outcome of a special 2-day cabinet meeting which begins tomorrow and the resumption of Parliament next month before they learn the extent of government plans to deal with the interest rates crunch.
Summer is golden. The CBC Sports app, 500 plus hours of live competition. Download the CBC Sports app.
It looks like a frame from a minimalist sci-fi film, the first official picture of a new spacesuit designed by the private venture SpaceX. According to SpaceX head Elon Musk, it is not a mock-up. Musk noted it is incredibly hard to balance functionality with a chic look. It's not clear whether this can be used for spacewalks or if it's just a flight suit. And that is the National for this Wednesday night. Check cbcnews.ca for the latest news anytime. I'm Susan Ormiston. I'll see you here tomorrow.